London is the debt centre of Britain, and new reports found people living in the capital are more likely to owe on credit cards and loans with higher essential bills than anywhere else in the country. Debt charity StepChange is behind the research, and the group's chief executive, Mike O'Connor, joins me this morning. Mike, thank you very much indeed for joining us. How did you come to this conclusion? Well,
StepChange is the country's largest debt advice charities. One in five of the people who come to us live in London, but only 1 in 7 people live in London, so London's overrepresented. So we looked at all our hundreds of thousands of clients and we analysed the situation which Londoners are facing today.
Is this an obvious step, given that London's an expensive city to live in?
Well, I think one of the real reasons that Londoners are in debt is housing costs and transport costs. And I travel around the country, and London feels wealthier than other parts. But under the surface, under the gloss, a lot of people are struggling. They're living on the edge, and the average debt we see is higher in London than anywhere else. Their mortgage debts are higher, their credit card debts are higher. So a lot of people are really struggling, sometimes silently and alone in London.
What patterns did you see in terms of parts of the capital where debt is higher?
Well, debt is the problem right across the capital. In the richer boroughs, debts are actually higher, and it's more mortgages, etc. And in the less affluent, debts are actually lower, but it's a bigger problem because people have less resilience. But wherever you are in London, you are vulnerable. Wages are pretty flat. Cost of living continues to go up. And we're concerned that unless people get practical help, they can tip into problem debt. And when you get into debt, it costs London £1,400 million a year in mental health care costs, in relationship breakdown, in housing problems. So debt is a real problem, and people need support to get back on their feet.
Talking of which, what sort of support, what would you like to see happen?
Well, the first thing mistake people make when they're in debt is they tend to ignore it for too long. They stop opening the letters and they bury their heads in the sand. Don't. Get up, confront it. Contact StepChange Debt Charity because we can help you do a deal with your creditors. So get help from a free debt advice charity. Never pay for it. Secondly, we're also calling on the Mayor of London to bring the local authorities together to help them treat people in debt somewhat more sympathetically. The most aggressive debt collection we see is from local authorities, not banks, it's local authorities. So we'd like the Mayor to bring together London authorities to be more supportive and sympathetic of people in debt. We'd also like the Mayor to use his influence with the national government to introduce a breathing space. By that we mean if you're in debt, you take advice, you take action to get yourself out of debt. We would argue that interest and penalty charges should be suspended while you're getting back on your feet.
And I'd imagine there will be people watching this today who will hear what you're saying, and a lot of it will resonate with them. How can they get in touch with you? How can they find out more?
They can go online, stepchange.org, or they can ring us on a free phone line. So we are the biggest. We've got 1,400 people waiting for that call. And get in touch with us. We'll take you through the situation. We can find what you can do to increase your income, cut your costs, but we'll also go and talk to your creditors on your behalf to see if we can build an affordable repayment plan so you and your family can get back on your feet.